Oh, let's hope the stream works. I am coming to you guys late. Now, I do have a new folder that I will be launching. I'm going to be setting it up tonight so that I can have them on Premiere. Some of them I may open a little bit earlier because I'm still doing editing at the back. Now, this is for those of you that are twin flames or you're dealing with third-party energy. It could be an ex. It doesn't have to be an actual physical romantic partner. This, however, is based on their zodiac sign. So it is deeply informative in a sense. I will mention the astrology aspects. I have placed placements. I can tune into the frequency of the astrology and how. And it's been really interesting doing this sort of little experiment, so to speak, really to have a look at those of us that don't have tools. How are we directly relating to the current astrology? You know, how with the conscious understanding of knowing that those of us that are doing spiritual work on ourselves, we're purging, we're looking at codependent patterns, belief systems, and having to purge paradigms. A lot of people that actually don't have the tools and have innately had a very large pain body experience, hi Dale, from childhood, we call it the ego, but it's not in a sense of a dirty word. It's more a pain body experience. The way I can describe it is, for instance, you touch a stove and you create a protection mechanism to say, okay, when I do that, there is a cause and effect of what I do, and therefore I will never do that again. Sometimes these wounds are so profound that instead of creating understanding, logical reason, placing it in a compartment and making peace with it and doing things differently in a healthier format, it's a bit like saying, well, I burnt my hand, so I'm never going to touch the stove again. Or we create problems surrounding that can be very controlling and codependent upon our frequency moving forward. So this zodiac sign isn't if you're a twin and you're a Pisces. It's for if the karmic directly is a Pisces. Now, hopefully I am going to have enough time to actually jump on during the week prior to the Capricorn eclipse so I can do the astrology update. I am changing a lot of things on the format of the way I'm doing things, which I think is quite funny because with the Cancer Capricorn axis, a lot of us at a very karmic sense have had to change some things in our life. And I have mentioned that in your zodiac signs. And really, we do need to be transforming those energies and really working on those things. And anything that comes up this month, it's really important for us to actually get our life together and really be moving towards, after those lessons, what is the highest way we can operate from that frequency and really manifest in those large things. And I'll also be doing videos based on manifestation, ascension, and, you know, where you get to with that process. Now, for this Pisces energy, we are having Neptune retrograding in their first house. So spiritually speaking, with the Neptune placement, any hopes and dreams, plus any way in which they have maybe had a false perspective of themselves can be coming up. They're also looking at it more from, it can be coming from an egoic way. And the reason I'm saying that is first house placement and Neptunes can be relating to delusions. So all of us collectively with this Neptunian placement, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually something based on a reality situation. It can directly be something at a very psychological level we're dealing with that we believe to be so, and a 3D circumstance can trigger that to show us something polar opposite to what it is. And sometimes some of these hopes, dreams, and ambitions we have, because it's really the house of innovation, it may come crashing down in the sense that we're having to shift that perspective and it no longer resonates with us. First house placement can be quite large, and it can be quite sweeping in a sense of showing us, after Venus is going direct, how delusional that energy or belief system was within our life. So for them, it is first house placement. They also have Venus moving direct in the fourth house, which is home-related dynamics. And with that Gemini Sagittarius axis, they are going to have that there for 2.5 years. However, this month, more towards the 27th, it is going to be squaring. So there can be problems. When I say squaring, it's squaring Neptune. So between their home and what they want and who they are, and it can even be questioning coming up in their minds, can I achieve this? Does this house resonate with me? Do I have what it takes to pay the bills and hold this energy together? Fourth house placement is psychologically educational, but it can also be the house of psychology, the foundation in which it's based on, maybe biting off a bit more than you can chew at a financial level, aiming too high, aiming too low, domestic issues, endings, and parents. So it's home energy, very similar to Cancer, but their schedule can be really hectic as well around this time. Juno also is in the 8th house, which is very Pluto energy. And with that, it's where we learn about give and take, but really investing in those energies. And with it being Libra, it's almost like the judgment energy, and we do have judgment come down in the cards, which I'll tune into shortly. With that, what I'm seeing is there was a really large energy of resonance coming through where if they had invested incorrectly and not actually understood the element of self-worth energy and working with individuals that were like-minded, it's a very karmic lesson in a sense. It's not like when we get an 8th house placement for any of us that it comes naturally initially we've got liquid gold. It's really learning to create those healthy boundaries and to have that give and take and process. That can either be on their side of the fence or in partnerships and connections, but it will be connecting them with their work, their families, their pairs, their at a collective level for them, it will be deeply important. If it is very one-sided, they may lose friendship groups. They can also lose jobs. It does need to be an educational position where it is reciprocal in a sense that you're developing that house and you're also working with those individuals and challenges to balance that and alchemize it. So Saturn initially was in their 12th house, which is quite interesting because if anything, I do feel more in the last 2 to 3 months, potentially there is a possibility that at a psychological level, they were really struggling. And that's because it is deemed as the house of the psyche. For a person who's really grounded, it's almost like you're going into that deep realm of your mind. It's also the house of imprisonment, illicit affairs, what else? Your reputation. We'll leave it at that. But from a psychological point of view, I have noticed for any Aquarians, when we did have Saturn and Aquarius, a lot of them were incredibly grounded because it's very much first house placement. When you do tend to get an energy in a 12th house placement, especially because it's Aquarius, there may have been a lot of demands on them. And it may have been everything toppling down with this whole Capricorn axis going on, that it became overwhelming, that all of a sudden it was almost, and I've been hearing this all week, pay the ferryman. It's almost like karma really catching up and having to really chase their tail to address everybody's needs. Paying back debts, so to speak, especially with that 8th house placement. So now that it's kind of shifted out of the 12th house, potentially if they were trying to master plans, think about things, and logically comprehend what was going on, moving into the 11th house, I do feel they're moving back to socialization. And the reason I say that is A, from the cards, the energy I'm tuning into, and also from the perspective that it does link into your hopes and dreams, your aspirations, your friendship groups, and your pairs. So I'm finding it's almost like a tapping out energy, tuning into that, trying to move towards that. I'm also seeing on the table here a lot of issues surrounding their connection groups and really feeling a little bit disconnected from those frequencies, like they don't resonate, or their friendship groups are feeling like they don't resonate due to circumstances that are played out. Now, the Cancer Capricorn axis for them has been to do with their friendship groups as well as their 5th house placement. So a lot of attention has really shifted to the 11th house to really balance those energies in. And I think it's very important for Pisces energies to develop this energy moving forward. So even if you're not a karmic and you are a Pisces, we will fall into these energies at times when we get triggered and not understand the element of the astrology, the psychology surrounding it. the spiritual growth as per se, and ascension. And it's deeply important to develop those very important connections to you and to invest in yourself and your sense of hopes and dreams, because we do gain sort of self-esteem directly from those things. It's a bit like saying no man or woman is an island. It's really needing to develop those energies, and the self-worth energies then do directly attract those frequencies to us. They were very comfortable at a theoretical level in the 5th house. That might have been linking into children, luck, and romance. And it might have been due to situations playing in their life, but it's looking like they also did need to transform that energy too, because it was where they became stagnant and comfortable. So there was lack mentality occurring in that frequency, and it was also to redevelop those frequencies and create fresh ways of dealing with those energies too. Now I'll get into the cards. A lot of psychology, and I would say where they've come to at the moment, because they did have Saturn in the 11th house, it was initially in the 12th. So for them, at a psychological level, there has been a lot of emotional turmoil and confusion to do with connections. Juno also being in Libra is about the balance and the give and take and not learning that lesson. Going direct, it can be deeply karmic as it moves direct. If we are in alignment, there does tend to be better frequencies coming through. We also had Venus in Gemini, and when it was retrograde, it did move into Scorpio, which again was almost very similar to the 8th house placement of Pluto. It's very malefic. So with Gemini and the nodes, there was a lot of energies to do with home, especially because we did have Saturn in Aquarius. I would say a lot of people were coming and going from their home environment, or there was a lot of social energy going on. I'm feeling as though they're really tuning into connections in general. What went wrong, why this is going wrong, not really comprehending it. And the current position of where they stand. They're in the 5 of Wands in reverse. Now, there could be a legality or a court situation coming up. And when I was tuning into it, I was picking separations for some, in a sense of signing divorce paperwork, anything to do with alimony, things to that degree. The thing is, energetically, because of the Capricorn placement being in the 11th house, at an integrity level, if there has not been integrity, I was sensing that something was going to go pear-shaped in that frequency. Now, I pull clarifiers, and with the clarifiers, for some, it is relating to divorce and separations. This can be separations of assets, separations of homes, etc. But signing documents as per se, it also can be in employment, but it's all the Venus-related energies, which is marriages, contracts, partnerships. 5s are about massive changes and never comfortable. As I mentioned, 2021 is the vibration 5. You do achieve such greatness, but it's really based on absolute transformation and hard work. Now, again, it is documentation. It can be letters, information, emails. We currently are moving through and towards the energy of Mercury retrograding Cancer. And with that, again, it's linking in with the 5th house placement and the Gemini nodal axis. So it's all happening: home, family, anything to do with children and paperwork and documentation. There's legalities surrounding that at a very karmic nature. I do feel also at a social level, it is to do with them maybe more in the 11th house placement. There can be disputes as well with people supporting them that were linking into that area. And again, it is linking into finances. It's funny because I was just going to say blue moon, and this is the moon energy. And the new moon in Cancer on the 20th is a blue moon. Any deceptions, what they're moving towards, it's almost like they're walking into the fire. And some things have been coming up when I am channeling karmic energy and trying to pick the energy of where they're at in a transformative state, how they're doing in a transitional state. Definitely with certain retrogrades and directs, things can be very karmic, especially since we had entered the nodal cycle. And it's really the eclipses that end that cycle. And once we've passed that frequency, it's almost like going to school, passing, and then directly going into a job. Thanks, beautiful. And then directly applying it to a physical situation to show that we have understood what was learned. So really, that's what's being asked of us at the moment. A lot of us are needing to now look at that nodal axis, maybe transfer through some of that Cancer, Capricorn nodal energy, and then implement it after we've learned. If we don't, it's bad enough that this month it will be very karmic, but by the end of the year, it will be deeply karmic. I feel they're trying to suppress emotions, and it can be information. It's almost like the poker face energy. Putting on a brave face, moving forward, trying to hide their emotions. Again, it may be in relation to detachment energy. I try to keep these reads as high frequency as possible from not a judgment point of view, but from understanding the psychology surrounding it from where we're ascending and growing. Potentially, there could be a belief system. Sometimes when we have lack mentality, 8th house can be to do with energies where we haven't come to terms with them. It's birth, deaths, legacies, and wills. So yes, money in an inheritance state could be coming, but very separately, I do feel there could be a situation where deceit could be at hand, where there could be scenarios playing out, but I don't feel they directly feel they're doing anything wrong. It has been a tool they've actually developed to actually handle life due to the fact early on in the piece they were experiencing adversity. So it was a development. It's almost like may the strongest survive. And within the domains of what they had at their hands, they developed these techniques to overcome the aspects of adversity because, I don't want to say that because that sounds condescending. It's more, we sometimes have to teach ourselves ways to survive, and that's really what's coming through. They're also trying to avoid conflict and potentially, again, 12th house energy, linking in with associates, some of their pastimes. This could be even with this lawsuit and energy and transactional situations. It could be at imprisonment energy, and 12th house does directly relate to this, but this could be really psychologically in their minds, maybe not energetically understanding that something they've done is out of sort or, has an end date, so to speak. I've then looked at the aspect of their money and their career. Now, in their career sector, as I mentioned, 8th house, Pluto and Jupiter currently are retrograde. So all of us collectively have the ability to, while Saturn goes direct, directly apply our learnings, are also keeping in mind with what the Aquarius energy was and the placement for us was. So for this instance, for this person, if they're wanting to achieve psychological satisfaction and peace, and, feeling calm and connected with the right tribe, it's important to balance their connections. So they're having to really balance that 11th house, 12th house axis to close those cycles, to make things right with those energies. And that's connecting really in with friendship groups, hopes and dreams, aspirations, as well as the connection of home, family, children, etc. Now, in their career sector, they have the judgment energy come up. Now, something's occurring in this area with their money that is becoming a wake-up call. Now, we can look at judgment energy similar to, in Libra, and it is 8th house placement. I'm going to look further. Currently, obviously, the fact that we do have Jupiter energy, which can be linked to expansion, it is retrograde and it is in Capricorn also. They do need to be really cautious of their social groups and their pairs. I do feel something at work has happened, and it can be lower frequency, and I'm not going to get into what I feel it is. It's more from a perspective of this situation, whatever's going down, is taking this person by surprise, and they're actually sad by it. This can be things to the degree where jobs are given to other people or they're currently not working, but they haven't looked at really, money going out during this process, balancing the books, etc. If they are directly working, I've just got this really odd feeling that it's almost underhanded activity on the employment front, and it's almost like they really had thought maybe that it was fine, but it has come as a surprise, and it can mean kind of that situation shifting. Now, let me look further. I want to dig a bit deeper with this. Sixth house placement. I knew she'd do it. Bloody Cancer axis. I'm going to open the door because my daughter's how before. Yay! See, even I experience things. Mercury retrograde. Okay. So I am seeing there's changes happening on that domain. Now, in the career sector, this is where it gets interesting. Yes, potentially losing a job due to something that's going on. It can be due to what's happening in the collective. Potentially not even looking at their finances, and it's really affecting them. It's almost like delayed energy, and that kind of does make sense with the lying energy moving forward. It's like they've been in this denial energy that anything's wrong. Again, even though there's 8th house placement, for many, I don't feel they directly have TF with them. I am feeling more so this well and truly at a social level, because it felt really, really social, like they were networking and trying to directly come to terms with what had gone on. And again, this is, again, due to a separation. I do feel they've been thinking so much, it has affected them, be it they're at work and they're losing their job, or be it they haven't been working, plus on top of that, the connection has broken down and it has been affecting their psychology. Now, around the eclipse in Capricorn, 11th house placement, they realise that it's D-Day. It's like, we need to actually level up. We need to change something. And it can be a very shocking situation where money's not coming in, home-related dynamics coming up, especially towards the 27th. It's almost like they may be questioning their energy. Do I have what it takes to make this work? A lot of emotions coming up. You know, the Cancer frequency can, in the Mercury energy, really distort our frequency. So a lot of us can be feeling the jitters, emotional, especially with the Mars aspect. With Mars, it is their 2nd house of self-esteem and their resources. So to a degree with Chiron retrograde, they can utilise that to look at it, but it's almost like we do need to, if we've been reflecting on things too long, and we've really gone through that 7 stages of healing, it's almost like the universe is saying, we've given you Mars and Aries to utilise and give you energy. You need to use it now and act. Now, by the new moon, again, the moon, it's like, we've got the Queen of Cups. I feel they may be going, and this is what I'm getting. I am feeling they're actually looking at readings, trying to understand. Potentially some of them actually are intuitive in a sense, and they're feeling with their family something's coming up or how something's going to play out, which is a potential, because, you know, Saturn and Aquarius maybe gave them the direct psyche to see some things. But I do feel some of them are actually seeking out and moving towards actually seeing a reader to find out. But I don't feel it's in relation to family. I feel it's in relation to their romantic partnership that appears to be not so here now. Their tribe. This is where it gets interesting. I am feeling a male energy, and the way I tune into the cards isn't always directly linking into the actual resonance of what's on the cards. Because I'm a psychic medium, I never use the cards. I have developed that. What I'm picking, there is a very strong energy that is linked to their group. And tribe is the axis of Capricorn, the 11th house. I do feel they've actually met this person, and it is someone they've known for a very long time. It's sort of like when things go wrong, that go too. And it sounds bad. I don't mean it in a condescending way. I mean it in a spiritual way. This person has been deeply supportive towards them. Yes, they do have romantic feelings. This person has kind of got shafted a few times, but they're indefinitely there. They do tend to go to this energy when things go wrong and pear-shaped. This person is in awareness of this. And it may be due to the fact that they feel, they're not working, things are going wrong, and they're really actually reaching out to this person. And that's the importance of the 11th house. Also having the access of Libra and Juno for them of the 8th house, it appears they're understanding the necessity and the importance of having give and take. This person is going to require that, though. I'm going to pull a clarifier on how they're going to relate to it. I really feel they're still open to it. I feel they're very nurturing and understanding, but I'm feeling as though they're moving towards this person. They do want more. And I feel they're going to say to them, that's fine, but on this occasion, I do want more. I feel this has already gone down, especially from what I'm seeing happening in the romantic sector and their belief towards TF. Their family, again, also going to family. And again, it is, trying to make a truce they may have had with that 5th house axis issues. Directly linking to romance, family, children, etc., especially from childhood energy. It's like they're going there, they're returning. The thing is, they haven't talked for a while. The family is seeing this and knowing this. They're also very wary of their energy, and it is for money. It can be for self-esteem, because when we do see the 5s and the 7s, 5s are about changes, 7s are about value. At a spiritual level, we look at the cash component, 7 stages of healing, the art of appreciation, 7 as in a sense of manifestation, and the chakras in alignment. You get my gist? So lack mentality, again, 8th house placement is where we learn those energies. So it's like we're moving through the 7th of romance to the 8th to learn the give and take. It's a process we go through spiritually. Now, the crowning energy of the relationship sector and how they're looking at this, and I just wanted to know overall, what is the crowning energy about the whole TF situation and where they stand, if they were in awareness of it, and yes, they are. They are in awareness that this connection is here. They feel very much in a sense that they may be not adhering to their obligations. They're reflecting back on their actions, children, again, family, romance, birthing. Also the manipulation energy, very much 8th house placement, the need to develop that energy, the art of appreciation, realising they're needing to look at connections that they directly can depend on. And it's almost like you learn that very karmically. We all have, in a connection, gosh, okay, I'll try this. It's a bit like Groundhog Day. We're being plonked in to do it differently each time. But if we keep doing the same, we keep getting the same outcome. We need to change that recipe. A lot of ego will be coming up. But again, this is due to self-esteem. So, the push-pull energy, the aggression energy is coming from the 2nd house and from Aries and Chiron. Again, from a financial level, learning and having to really have lack energy around them, money sifting out, money not coming in, so that they can actually learn to mix with energies and own their power and develop that technique. Again, they're being really, really outspoken. This can be linking in with children, potentially even if they do, or coming from inner childhood wounds, which can be pettiness, but being very direct, this is what I want and this is how I want it. I do feel there potentially may have been a betrayal, and this is where they're heading. They also feel on their side, this is what's happened and that justifies the means, but I don't feel that is what's happened. Externally, they know. How do I place it? I asked how TF sees it, whomever was directly linked to this, and this could be a feminine or a masculine. It's the karmic energy. They know very well who this person is. They have seen all they need to see. They also know this does not work on them any longer. Also, for the cross watcher who is feminine or masculine regardless, understand that this is fantasy based, in a sense of this person is going to actually learn. And some of the comments and statements that potentially may be said in harsh words, you need to disconnect from that, because this month is very energetic. Just steer clear of the energy, because this person will purge, but there can be some aspect of aggression. Now, for the TF that was directly involved, however that be, you can be in union and still have these energies play out. You can also be in the connection. I'm not feeling this person's in the connection. If they are, there's no spiritual connection to this. The decision's been made. Okay, in a sense, what the person who was involved in, they've had their power back, and they're actually manifesting the things that resonate with them more so. Any questions for those of you in the house? I'll make it quick. I tried to record this last one, and my phone is that full. And my computer, I was editing everything. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'll come live. No questions? I'm taking the day off tomorrow. I have things to do. I have been sitting for a week recording. Gonna be a human being. Is the feed working? I have done all 12 zodiac signs, so they already are recorded. Haven't forgot yous. Thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it. If you do like these reads and I do see them popular, I may do them again to see the aspect of the psychology and how they trap, and even tuning into the energy. Anywho, any questions in the house? You want me to wait 5? Where am I going? What would you like to know? Oh, my neck. What do you want to know, my beautiful? Those of you that do follow me on social media, pay attention, because things will be changing. I'm upgrading a lot of things. I have a post scheduler, so there will be posts on different platforms, and they will be most regularly, because I can... HR, please. Calling. Okay, Mercury retrograde, because I know your Zodiac, so let me have a look. PR, as in work. Are you wanting to know about work? Third house communication, yes, it seems very positive. Make sure that you read documents, because for jobs and things to that degree, you've got third house placement, you need to catch up, chase people up. Make what's the word? Make those phone calls, girl. I just want to touch base with you. If there's any questions you want me to answer, you know the deal. Well, Capricorn is third house placement, plus it's communication, and you're a Scorpio. So what I'm seeing is, due to the fact that Saturn has transited from Aquarius, which was your home environment, you're going to have major themes about home next year, potentially even purchasing homes, changing homes, building on that self-esteem level there. You may even have your own. But because the third house placement's there, it's bounced back. You're now needing to focus back on that accountable energy of Saturn. So if it does mean catching up with them via telephone or asking how they're going with the process, you need to do such, because it's communication house. Yes, we're Mercury retrograde in Cancer, which again, it's like the Cancer access for you will be the 9th house, which is your education, foreign countries, travel. So things can be happening overseas that you're dealing with. That might have been going on. Again, religious beliefs, very much the Sagittarius energy that's coming through at the moment, that will be transforming through. But where you want to be, What else? Yeah, so it's more you're moving away from that way of doing things and doing things more locally and changing that. Maybe your viewpoint and your value system, upskilling, etc., which you had been. And at the same time with Capricorn axis is the art of communication. You needed to transform that frequency, which I think you have. Hi. They told me not to call, but yes, I was thinking. Well, just keep, with communication though, Dale, just keep putting resumes out. Usually, this is the way, okay, manifestation's freaky. When you're thinking how it's going and you're playing out every scenario, you're directly blocking it. When you tune out of that and just spread them wide and sit back, and then it's like your job's done, you'll get multiple opportunities. Hi, Dale. You surely can, my love. I'll still pick a card for my beautiful Aunt Juanella. See, it's all coming from ego, baby sweets. You know, don't second guess yourself. Self-esteem energy, Sagittarius. That's why. Transform that energy. When it comes to Jupiter energy, because you have Sagittarius in your second house, that's where your self-esteem comes from. Don't base everything, see, very Neptune, don't base everything on the energy of what happened before, so it's going to happen again. For a year and a half, you will be transforming that energy with Sagittarius, and you will be moving that access into the 8th house of, look, it was their loss that they didn't have you. 8th house placement, we just mentioned this in Pisces. Working with, it's what can they give you and you're willing to give. So start spreading your energy wide, put your resumes out, and then tune out of it. Just relax. Relax. What was the question? May I ask a question? Yes, you can. Hi. I'll try and do a super chat tomorrow. I do have a beautiful, my sister-in-law's house to go to say happy birthday. What would you like to know, beautiful? So yeah, these reads, I have done all 12 zodiac signs, and they are for the karmic person's astrology. So it won't be based on yours, it's based on their astrology and the psychic energy. And I'm telling you that they were very complicated to do, in a sense, mentally speaking, to process that. Is the feed blocked again? I wonder if I can reply. Oh, I can add moderators from here. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing anyway, doll? Yes, I've done every zodiac sign. Yes, and that's the same with Twin and I. My moon, his zodiac. You end up having many karmics, to be quite honest. We've got many chakras, but we've got the main chakra. You're going to have a karmic from every friggin' region. You got to have someone to clear that out, right? Okay, forever ask me a question or I shall be closing down, because I need to put them all on. Well, I need to get them ready for premiere. And then I have 2 more videos for mid-month to do, and I'm done, and I need to start on August. Trying to level up. I got Capricorn energy in my career sector. I got that eclipse. See, I was already feeling the energy last month. Big smudge, yeah. It wasn't too bad. I think during the readings that I was doing, I was going outside, kind of flushing. I would go by zodiac sign. I would do the beginning of the month, have a break, come back, do karmic energy, have a break, go out in the garden, come back and do mid-month. What zodiac sign are you, Frankie? Everything happens for a reason. There is a lot of my clients at the moment are having a lot of communication with TF. A lot of positive movement too. Keep our vibes high. I think I've got about 7 now. Yeah, 7 that I'm coaching, and I'm also coaching some YouTube channels too. I had to level up. It was my karmic lesson. That was for Libra's karmic lesson, right? That's the Libra aspect of me. And then I got my Cancer moon. On the 7th, jeez. I'll have to do tips on it. It depends on where you are. Look, most of the time the coaching's best because I can see a blockage in your energy, and 9 times out of 10, whatever you feel they haven't completed or there is a major situation happening in your life, it's what's directly blocking it. Once you deal with it, it moves very quickly. Oh, no drama. No, nothing can intervene. When we believe that, we're actually, I'll do energy reads on it. I've been creating all these little videos in my mind. I've got a new app now that actually does scheduling to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Also to my website, which I'm creating a blog on, which I have been, and I'm trying to get organised to a point I can do all of that. I said to my twin, I need a secretary. So this app is like my secretary. I love my app. But yes, I will do videos, but a lot of it is coaching. I mean, I do that in the private sessions. I might do a subscribe section, which I can chat about this candidly because karmics will be less inclined to pay. Where we can talk candidly about things, and I can break things down and do coaching sessions in there. Yes, we always need to focus on self, but we always need to think to ourselves, okay, have I got to a space where I'm just living in hermit mode because it's safest energy? It's the same as tuning in on the 5D and believe, at a point you will purge that too, because you know your self-worth energy, the 7 energy, that you are entitled to have a physical 3D relationship. And then no sooner do you believe it, bang, you get contact from twin as soon as you're looking at somebody. Why? Because you're open. So all you need to do is be open. And once you are open, it moves towards you. But you need to not tune into how it's going to happen. That's fixation. What went down, you need to have come to terms with. How it will come about, you need no fixation to it. It's about learning to be in the present moment. But I will love you and leave you. But as soon as you do that, as soon as you find the energy coming in, you have to say to yourself, look, I've done it. I know you can do it, and breathe the energy through, because the higher into ascension you get, it does feel like spiritual attack. Have to do a coaching session, duh. Because the blockage will relate to something happening on your side of the fence, and it will be mirroring. Because even the running, when you look at it, when it has occurred, if you actually are honest with yourself, inside at that point, you were finding that direct 3D situation overwhelming and you were ready to run inside. So what happens with a feminine is very much on the internal, but we're not articulating such. And what is happening on their side is happening more at a 3D level. So we're seeing them retreat, but it's because we're retreating inside. We're like, wow, I'm overwhelmed. This is getting a bit heavy. And the healthy boundary is for self. It's like, okay, well, I should have said that, or maybe I shouldn't have attempted to do something that was maybe out of my league, or I was feeling overwhelmed by. I will see you soon then. You're a dag. Okay, I'll come through later. I'll put a community tab post up anyway. Feel free to share and comment, and thank you for your donations. I really do appreciate it. I will see you during the month for the twin flame reads. I will be on regularly. No drama.